Today we're going to talk about the best community fish for aquariums. Today we're going to talk about the best community fish for aquariums. Obviously, it's my opinion. I'll show you what I got, but there's a whole bunch of different options you got for best fish for you. But so far, these are the best fish that I like. So take this as just a guide and don't make this like, this is what you have to do. That's not what I'm saying. It's just what I think are the best. Peaceful, calm, nice fish, not like, aggressive things like some cichlids or Oscars, which are cichlids, or like African cichlids or other type of aggressive fish, right? These are really nice, calm fish. So let me show you what I got, and let me show you what I recommend. So a really good type of fish would be tetras. They are really, for the most part, there's some that are more aggressive than the others, but for the most part, tetras are a really nice, good schooling community fish. They are more comfortable with the school, so say 4, 5, 6, 7, however many you can afford. Definitely 3 or more minimum, but the more the better. What we've got here we've got some glow light tetras. Those are really cool. They have this nice orangey glow to them on their face, down the side of their bodies, as well as their tails. That's pretty cool. There's one right there. Nice looking glow light tetra. Another type of good tetra would be the serpae tetras. The serpae tetra can be a bit fin nippy at times, so I would suggest that you have a good school of 6 or 8 or 10, like I previously mentioned, just so that they can start a pecking order and not pick at your other fish. I would not recommend any long type fish like betta fish as tank mates with the serpae tetras, as the serpaes can sometimes pick on the betta fish. I did test out a guppy that has a big fancy tail. Has a fancy tail, not a huge fancy tail, but a fancy tail. And so far they have been treating him fine. They ignore him. They don't even acknowledge that he's in the tank. So far so good on that. But I would suggest a school of the serpae tetras. Serpae tetras are really cool. They got the nice red fins, red and black fins. You've got a good variety of color there between the red and the black. Very good contrast. And of course, good old standby is the neon tetra, which is really, really beautiful. A very common fish. Any pet store you go to will have these neon tetras. Very nice fish. They school together. They also school with cardinals, and very nice looking contrast between the red and blue. I'd highly recommend those to anybody, any community fish. What other tetras we got? The black skirt tetras. Very cool looking fish. That got the black and silver. If you're an Oakland Raider fan, maybe, I don't know. But nice black and silver fish. They do have a nice contrast. You see them swimming through the water, and you get the glimpse of the black and silver. Really good contrast. Very nice. I think we're going to build these out. We're going to get some more tetras. I think this will be our main tetra tank. So those are the 4 tetras that I've got. Of course, that you can have different other kind of tetras, many other type of tetras that I'd recommend. Look around your fish store and see what you like, and chances are, that tetras would be a really good schooling fish for your community aquarium. Nice. They move around a lot, very active, what you want to see in your fish tank. Another fish up to bat is the guppies. How about live bears? Of course, there's a nice pretty one there. There's a nice pretty male there. So guppies, mollies, platies. Swordtails get a little bit big for a small tank, but if you've got a bigger tank, say 20 gallons or bigger, I'd recommend some swordtails. They're very nice. They got the little sword on them. But guppies, I love guppies. Guppies are good. So a lot of people will tell you, well, you shouldn't mix tetras with live bearers because they require a different type of water, okay? It is a true statement that in nature they do have different kind of water parameters, but I'm going to do a little bit of controversy here. As long as your pH is stable and your water quality is good, I've had no problems at all mixing tetras and live bearers. And a lot of people say, well, live bearers need salt. Well, you don't want to salt a planted tank. So if you have plants and you put a bunch of salt in there, it will kill them. So, oh, there's a nice little batch of guppies there. There's a pretty one right there. How about that? That is pretty. And let's see here. There's a baby I wanted to show you. And the good thing about guppies is if you got a male and a female, it's better, you know, it's I don't know if it's better, but I think it's better to keep a male with 2 or 3 females, so that the female, if you have like 2 males and 1 female, the female typically gets harassed. But very pretty colors, very nice looking fish, and they come in different colors, different varieties. You'll see that one. That one is really nice, and I'll show you my guppy tank in a later video. But yeah, tetras and guppies, very, very nice, peaceful, in general, peaceful community fish. Next up to bat, we have the white cloud minnows. These are really cool. These right here, they are nice, bright, flashy fish. They got the red on the tail, the lines that go across their lateral line, the color that goes across the lateral line, very beautiful. I do recommend getting a school of those. I need to get some more. I did have I did have 3 or 4 somewhere in this tank, but apparently I need some more. So I would recommend those in a school as well. So, and they're typically fast swimming fish, and when they school together, it is amazing. They usually hang out around the top to the middle area, whereas a lot of other tetras, they hang around the middle a lot, as you can see here. So the white cloud mountain minnow, very, very nice. I'd highly recommend. They're very peaceful. They don't hurt anybody. They don't harass anybody. Very nice. So I definitely need to get some of those. So we talked about top dwellers with the mountain minnows, the middle dwellers with the tetras. They also dwell up at the top. But let's talk about some bottom fish. So the cleanup crew, like a Corydoras, cory cat, they are a good bottom feeder fish. They don't hurt anybody, very peaceful as well. They hang around, wait for you to feed. They grab some food from the bottom. Very nice looking fish. I would recommend the Corydoras catfish as a nice bottom dwelling fish. So you got the top, you got the middle, you got bottom, so you'll have life flowing throughout your fish tank. It's very nice to see. And I would recommend for the cories, they are schooling as well, to get, you know, as many as you can, 6 or so. You know, this is a 20 long, so I'm going to put 6 in there. I do have 3 somewhere hidden in here. They kind of sit there until the food comes. Then they start going crazy. It's like they hoover around. I'll show you some of that later in a later video. Really cool looking fish. Oh, there's one right there. Julie Cory, look at that. Nice looking pattern on there. Serpae Cory looks kind of similar. That might be a Julie, but I got a serpae in there. I need to get some more fish, but can't right now with everything locked down, but you know, it's okay. I can get some online or something. Let's see here. So they're not so common fish. Let's take a look. I think you've seen him. The Peacock gudgeon. He is a really, really beautiful fish right there. I've done a video just on that fish right there. Very nice coloration. I'll put a link somewhere up here to that video I did on the Peacock gudgeon. He is technically a micro predator, but I think if you've got plenty of cover here and you have what I'm going to talk about next, I think they'll be okay because they've been doing fine. There's a little guppy right there. So the next thing are shrimps and invertebrates, okay? Technically not fish, but still very cool. You'll see a couple of cherry shrimp there. Very nice looking cherry shrimp. Another cherry shrimp there. I like the cherry shrimp because they're peaceful. There's another one. There's a small one. There's one back there. They don't hurt anybody, and they multiply pretty rapidly if you've got like 10 of them, and they don't take up much space. They don't cause a lot of ammonia from food. Very, very good freshwater shrimp as well. Another shrimp that I would recommend as an algae eating shrimp is the Amano shrimp. Okay, the Amano shrimp, it's a bigger shrimp than the cherry shrimp, but the Amano shrimp is really good at, well, there's a Cory, and there's a Julie Cory and a serpae. Some people call them Julii because they got 2 eyes. in the name, but then there's the serpae. You can see a little bit of difference there between the two. Definitely need to get more. But back to, let's try and find some amano shrimp. The amano shrimp hang out looking for things to eat. They eat a lot of algae, which is really good. And of course they're hiding right now. Let's see, I might put a video. I've done a lot of video on amano shrimp, so I'll put a video in front of the, I'll put a video up here somewhere. Where are the amano shrimp? Come on, amano shrimp. Where are you at? Oh. There's a good picture of a cherry shrimp, not the amanos. Come on, amanos. Amano shrimp, where you at? There's a nice guppy. Look at that, huh? Pretty cool. Against that glow light tetra. Really nice. Amano shrimp. The amano shrimp are kind of, they don't really hide that much. Let's see here. There's another cherry shrimp there. Ah, there's one right there. There's one right there. Amano shrimp. They go all around the tank looking for things to clean. Very good cleaner shrimps, and usually peaceful. Don't hurt anybody. I would definitely recommend them. They live well with the, they seem to be living well with the cherry shrimp as well. I've also got them in a different tank with cherry shrimp. Oh, here they come out. Yep, there's a good picture of the amano shrimp. There's a good picture. Amano shrimp, yeah. He's cool. He's got the polka dots on his bottom, her, I think. And then that gold stripe on her back there. I don't know if you can see it, but she's got a gold stripe. Really, really nice looking shrimp there. Easy to take care of, very healthy. Oh, there we go. See that gold stripe right there? Yeah, very cool. They just walk around looking for stuff to pick off the gravel. They pick up any leftover foods, that kind of thing. It's important that you actually feed these bottom feeders as well. Let's talk about an algae eating fish. And this is a 20 long aquarium. So I don't want a big fish for algae eating, and I want a cool looking one too. So I would recommend the bristlenose pleco. They usually stay pretty small, 3 inches or so. Not to be confused with the common pleco that gets, foot and a half, 2 feet long, that kind of thing. You don't want that because they grow fast. But I can't find the dude in here. Let's see where. If I see him, I'll show him. But bristlenose pleco. Put a video here if I don't see him here. Let's see here. Let's look for the bristlenose. Where are you at, bristlenose? Where are you at? Nope, Corey's up. That's a cool picture right there. See, there's the serpae on the left and the julii on the right. And then another julii right there. Come here, little pleco. Where you at? You over here? There's a side view. That's a cool peacock gudgeon. He is a micro predator, but like I said, the shrimps have been doing pretty good. No die-offs, of course. I would imagine that if they did have babies, they would get eaten, except the fact that we did have very small shrimp like this guy here. He's real small. He's been doing okay, and he's out in the open. So I'll go ahead and show a bristlenose here. Of course, also snails. Snails are good. You got a nearite snail. You got just regular old snails that come in with your plants or something. Those are cool. I like those. And snails, some people think they're pests, but I really like them. They're really cool. Snails are good for the aquarium. Also, they eat the leftover food as well as they eat some algae. Not a lot, but it's cool when they glide across your tank glass. It's just neat for me. All right, so as far as feeding all these different type of fish, just like us, they prefer to have a varied diet. Don't freak out now. You don't have to do this, but I feed a wide variety of foods, anywhere from flake food. This is some New Life Spectrum. They really like that one there. This one here is a crunchier flake, not a soft flake, so it takes them a while to eat. That's always a staple. That's not very nutritious, but they like it. color enhancing. It takes them a while to get used to that one, but they eventually love it. Mini pellets, bloodworms, a good treat for not only bettas, but for all tropical fish. Most tropical fish, I'll say. Bottom feeding pellets, like I was saying, that the Corydoras, the cherry shrimp, they like to eat that. Bottom feeding pellet, shrimp pellets, veggie rounds for the shrimp. Shows the shrimp right there. And the bristlenose loves this one right here, so I'd recommend this one. The shrimp also love this shrimp cuisine, and everybody loves the rapashi. Rapashi, I did a video on that, and I'll leave a card up there somewhere that you can click on how you make that. You actually make it like food. It's kind of cool. I'd suggest taking a look at that. The water quality, water parameters, I touched on a little bit. The tetras like a little bit of a lower pH, between a low 6 point something to, you know, in the 7s, not too high like in the 8s like the guppies like, but the guppies are pretty tolerant as long as it's 7 or above. So I wouldn't chase pH. I wouldn't start getting drops and stuff to try to push it up or down. Just keep it stable is my suggestion. Now, you're going to get a lot of opinions on this, so do what's best for you. But what has worked for me is just leaving the pH as whatever your water is, as long as it's, for the guppies, guppies want a higher pH and can't be too low on those. So a good middle ground, if you got water that's not too hard, not too soft, just right, that would be perfect. pH is about 7.5, 7.6, something like that. And everyone, even the tetras, they are doing wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I don't add salt to the tank, like I said. Lighting, I use just a low light, kind of cheapo light. Put a link to that light. And filtration, I've got a Aqua Clear 20. I think that's Aqua Clear 20, as well as a sponge intake, and as well as a cheapo sponge filter there. So 2 little filters on this 20-gallon long tank, as well as a whole bunch of live plants. I got a bunch of crown, I think they call it the crown Java fern. That crown Java fern grows really fast in here. I mean, when I say really fast, Java fern's typically not known to be growing fast, but that one grows pretty fast. Very healthy. Java moss, that mossy stuff back there. Got some anubias right there. Nice looking big chunk of anubias. Don't know what that is. If you guys know what that is, let me know. More Java fern, more moss. And then the regular kind of spiral Java ferny kind of stuff, that grows really well. And I do, in this tank I don't fertilize that often, but when I do a squirt of the Thrive Nylock G for low-tech tanks. Let me show you what that is. FC Complete Low-Tech Fertilizer. Just a squirt for every 5 gallons. Just a squirt for every 5 gallons. So this will take a 4-gallon squirt about once a week or so. And that's that. So temperature wise, I leave it at room temperature. My room temperature is anywhere from, depending on the day, 74 to 78. So I don't use a heater in this tank. Guppies like it hotter. White cloud minnows like it colder, so I kind of leave it in between, 74, 75, 76, 77, something like that. They seem to be doing just fine. I use regular old gravel, the small kind, as well as I mix crushed coral in there to stabilize, to buffer the water, so I don't have to keep putting chemicals in there. It does it naturally, keeps a stable pH. I do have some rocks, and the plants, the shrimp, they love real plants, so if you can, get some real plants. If not, that should be okay as well, as long as you give them plenty of hiding spots, rock piles, or something like that. But they do, I think, they do prefer live plants. But, they'll live without it. And I'll leave links to all this food here in the description below, in case you want to try to give a good variety of food. You don't want to eat the same thing. I don't want to eat the same thing every day, day in, day out, so I spoil the fish, but you know, one or two of these things, they'll be just fine if you don't want to go out and buy a whole bunch of fish food. But you know, I didn't go out and buy a whole bunch of fish food at first either. I just bought one, and I was like, oh, let me try a different one. Yeah, they like it. Let me try a different one. No, they don't like it. I'm not buying that. So these are the types of fish foods that my fish like. Your fish might not like it. I don't know, but you know, give them a try, whatever. But let me know what you think about the choices that I've selected. There's a ton more, like I said before. There's tons more different kinds that I didn't even mention that would be just fine in a community tank, in a nice peaceful tank. But those are the ones that I have at the moment. As I get more, I will do more videos. Hopefully you guys find this interesting and find it helpful to you. Try to provide value to you guys. So leave a comment below. Tell me, what is your best nice peaceful fish that you like? Give me a like if you like this. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And subscribe if you like these videos. To get more videos, hit that bell thingy. And thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. And happy fish keeping. Peace.